Good morning. Here we are about 2/3 of the way through the month of May. It's been a pretty soggy month so far. We've had rain for nearly every day of the month, and it's lightly raining at the moment. Behind me here, the gardens are ready for planting. Before I get into a video about what we're growing here, planting, etc., I thought it would be helpful to take a look at what the month of April brings. The garlic are the first of April's arrivals, usually starting to poke their head through as soon as the snow clears. One of the first things I do in the garden is to clear the debris out of the asparagus patch, because it'll start showing itself around the 1st of May, and by middle of May or so, or actually this time, we're harvesting 1 pound to 1.5 pounds of asparagus every day. This is where the peas will get planted. Actually, they should have gone in earlier. And the rhubarb is always showing itself as soon as the snow cover comes off. One of the tasks of spring is to transition the tractor from winter mode into spring and summer mode, which begins with removing the PTO mounted snowblower that we use to clear our road during the winter time, and taking off the chains that stay through wood cutting season. The whole operation also involves a complete reorganization within the equipment shed as I put the snowblower deep inside and get the implements ready for summer. Then there's the task of removing the pallet forks from the front of the tractor and putting on the bucket that I'll use to load up the poop that's going to go on the garden next. It's a bit of a task. I know that nowadays most people use a quick attach system in order to just drive up and hook on their loader, but I still do mine by hand, and it takes a bit to get everything lined up and ready to go. Next is to get out the hay wagon, which tends to get piled with things during the wintertime, and hitch it up and start the 4.5 mile drive down to the valley to a friend's organic dairy farm to load up with his good composted organic cow poop. out onto the paved road over to my friend's farm near one of our town's covered bridges, and his piles of good organic poop. I load the wagon with as much as I can fit. It doesn't have much for sides there on the wagon. It is something that maybe I'll build up in the future, but for now I just have a set of perimeter boards on there, and it allows me to get a couple yards of the good stuff and then begin the 4.5 mile and 1,000 feet of elevation gain back up to our hillside farm. They say that tractor without implements is nothing but a slow ride to the mailbox. Back home on the back, I have some lilies that were given to me by a neighbor along the way. She was out splitting out her lilies in the garden, and had some ready for me when I returned. Next, I pulled the wagon between the main gardens and start the process of unloading. Good stuff. The spreading is a lot of manual work. It's I don't have any kind of mechanical spreaders. What I do is I just pull the hay wagon in between the two main gardens, and a shovelful at a time, take it off and start flinging it around until I've emptied the load and spread a good layer over the entirety of the garden. After spreading the poop, the next task is bringing in our nearly 50-year-old tiller. Although I have repowered it within recent years after throwing a rod in the old engine and unable to find a replacement, it's ready for another 50 years of turning soil. Once the tilling is done, I'm ready to start raking up rows and getting some seeds in the ground. First up is lettuce, radishes, peas, and kale. Tuck those seeds into the soil and give them a good watering and wait to see that new green pop through. So there you have it. There's the April garden prep. Looking forward to warmer days and the rest of the planting in May.